Welcome in. Forgot to add myself to the show. How's everybody doing? It's week 15. The playoffs are here, and it's time. We got to answer those start sit questions. Get that hair tucked in there. We don't want any snafus there. Can't have the hair hanging out. Everybody, welcome for joining. Obviously, if you're back, thanks for coming back. If not, definitely have a start sit thread. We'll do the housekeeping. Start sit thread over at X, at my X profile at Popes FFH. I'm going to run through those questions as well as answer them within the thread for you as well. But if you want to tune in, I dropped the link in there as well. You can come in, hang out. You can obviously get the questions entered in YouTube if you are watching that as well. Just drop it in the comments. I'll hit that. If you want to, head right on over to the FTN Fantasy link. If you drop the question in there, I'll be able to pull that up for you on X. So a couple different options into ways you can get the question submitted. So go ahead and do that. All right. Make sure you check out FTN Fantasy as well. The entire show, it's going to be scrolling down there as far as the link, ftnfantasy.com. Not very hard. Gives you a breakdown, though. Data, ranking, stuff like that. Good stuff over there at FTN Fantasy. So check that out as well. We have plenty of questions, so I don't want to hold us up too much here, especially some injuries, some big question marks around some players, and maybe David Njoku's playing. We'll have to see here as the morning moves along. But without further ado, we got some people waiting here in the wings with some questions here on YouTube. TDSD, Herbert or Stroud? So I'm going to go with Justin Herbert here. I like the spot for him against Tampa Bay. I believe Vlad's still trending towards playing, so Vlad McConkey's back. Huge bump for Justin Herbert. Good spot for him as well. CJ Stroud, it's just been a little bit inconsistent for me, so I'm rolling Justin Herbert there. As well as you've got Lamb, McConkey, AJ Brown pick 2. I'm probably going to go AJ Brown on the squeaky wheel type of game here. I know it's against Pittsburgh, a little bit tougher, but Pittsburgh secondary is kind of a little physical. AJ Brown doesn't necessarily have a concern against physical type of corners, so I'm in on AJ Brown. And then I'm probably rolling McConkey here. I like Lamb and McConkey. It's pretty much a coin flip there as well. I guess if you have Herbert starting, you could kind of go with that stack. You don't really have to in season-long type of formats, but I could see that. I feel like whichever side you have a lean, it would probably be Lamb for me a little bit, but you'll know and have that time to pivot to McConkey if you wanted TDSD. Big Cubs fan, David Njoku or Zach Ertz. If Njoku's playing, I'm playing him. It's plain and simple. Ertz is a good pivot if Njoku misses, but I'm playing David Njoku. He's been too good lately, and he's just getting peppered with targets. So if they're clearing him, I'm going to be rolling him out there. The tight end position's too much of an up and down to avoid a guy that's seeing like 15 targets a game almost here in the last few weeks. So I would be rolling David Njoku. Tootsie Pop, good morning, Rachel. How's it going? Need 2 out of AJ Brown, Mike Evans, James Conner, and Jacoby Myers. I would be rolling AJ Brown and Mike Evans. I think both are in a good spot this week. Both high-end potentials, both in games that are going to be close and likely have some implications of having to move the ball throughout the entirety of the game. The sneaky play is kind of maybe Jacoby Myers, but I really like AJ Brown and Mike Evans there. Dennis here has Metcalf or Garrett Wilson. I would probably roll up Garrett Wilson. Jacksonville secondary is really weak. I know Breece Hall's active, but I do think that they probably just lean a little bit onto Rodgers' arm there with Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams again this week. Rowley, Neighbors, or Hall in the final flex spot. I would probably go Malik Neighbors here. It's a tough spot against Baltimore. The pass defense is a little weaker than the run defense, but again, it's going to be the quarterback getting the ball to him, and that offensive line in New York, not great. So I do think the Ravens will get plenty of pressure, which will kind of limit getting the ball out to Malik Neighbors. Casino Gambino, any world you'd play B-Rob over H-Chan? Yeah, I would. I mean, I don't have it necessarily ranked that way. I get the mindset and I could see it. I do think Brian Robinson will probably see some more Rodriguez, McNichols, probably see a little bit of like a rotation in there if they get up big. But I do think Brian Robinson probably scores today. Devon Achane likely to get in. Houston's a very tough defense against the run. They're also a tough defense against running backs in the passing game. So double negative a little bit for Achane, but then the positive is it's Devon Achane, who's had an ability to hurt good defenses. So I get it. I'd probably lean towards Achane just a touch still, but they're very close to me in ranking, so I could definitely see playing Brian Robinson for you if you have that lean Gambino. Yes, I do think Washington's defense will have a good game. TDSD. Lattimore should be playing. He gets that revenge game narrative. Maybe a pick or two in there for Marshawn Lattimore today. The audio is choppy. So I'm trying a new setup that I got. And if it's choppy, maybe we'll just make a mid-stream switch here, JMZPZ. Give me 1 second. Let me put you guys to a 30-second timer while we do that. I was concerned about that, so I appreciate the let out there. Give me 30 seconds or so, and I'll be testing. All right, Zapeezy, let me know. We're doing better here. We're back to the old setup that I've never had too many issues with. So hopefully this is better than what it was. Like I said, I got a cool new docking station. Apparently it's not so cool. So back to the old setup. Hunter Uzi also saying it's sounding good, which is a plus. But you got Bucky, Waddle, and Moody. I would probably roll Bucky Irving if you're not too concerned about the injury. I think that he's still the struggle is if that back injury flares up, like it flares up, like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I would probably like Bucky Irving here, just the best option. But Jalen Waddle is a close second if you're a little bit more concerned about the injury and want to avoid that potential of re-aggravation. Ro Garcia, Darnold, Nix, or Kyler. I would roll out Sam Darnold. It's been a hot run here for Sam Darnold. Darnold also gets Chicago, which their pass defense has been a little leaky here in the past few weeks. So I really like Sam Darnold to stay hot this week. So I would go Darnold. Bo Nix is a very close second to me. I have them back to back in rankings. So again, toss up for you, but I do lean towards Darnold. And you're welcome, Hunter. Chris must win week here. Superflex PPR, start 1, bench 2. John Smith, Shakir, Sincere McCormick, or bench Mahomes in bad weather game and play 2 of these guys. With Mahomes, I'd probably still start him. I'm not opposed to playing positional players in Superflex. I'm actually doing it in one spot today. But Mahomes is hard to bench. I'd probably still play Patty Mahomes in that spot because a blow-up game from him could win you the week. So I would stay with Pat Mahomes there. And I'd probably start Shakir in what should be kind of a shootout game between Bills and Lions there for you, Chris. Vinny, start 2, Reed Hall, Brian Thomas Jr. I'm going to go with Brian Thomas Jr. and Jaden Reed. I'm going to avoid the Breece Hall conundrum for the time being. Eagles or Dolphins D. I would probably go Miami, maybe there. And the Eagles. I'm torn on whether Pittsburgh and Eagles are going to be like a tight game or not. I feel like it could be a blowout, not necessarily a blowout, but a high scoring game potentially. But it could also be just a mud mess and very defensive. So I'd probably go Dolphins though. They've been pretty good lately, sneakily good defense. CJ Stroud hasn't been as good as he was last year, so I think a turnover could be in the mold there for the Dolphins defense. Toby picked 2, Tank, Gus, ETN, Bucky, and Javante. So I'd probably go. Man, I want to start Bucky, but the injuries, man. Probably Javante's in a nice spot against Indianapolis. I know it's been very meh and risky to start him, but like I'd rather start Javante than Gus and even ETN, truthfully. So I'd probably go Javante in either Bucky or Tank Bigsby there, Toby. So whether you like Bucky and can like deal with potential injury aggravation and live with it if it happens, um, risk tolerance always the key here. But I would probably go Javante and Bucky, Toby. You're welcome, Vinny. Great minds think alike. Starting Chase Brown over Drake May / Aaron Rodgers Superflex. That would be intriguing. I don't hate that right there. It's actually Rico Dowdle for me that I'm starting. It's like Tommy DeVito, but like it's the other option because Derek Carr got hurt. But Chase Brown is top 10 option for me and most of the guys over at FTN. So yeah, I don't mind that. I like Drake May though this week against Arizona. So do with the information you please here, Vinny. But Chase Brown, roughly the projection's closer to 20. Drake May's maybe like 17. So like really a coin flip. Maybe Chase Brown's a little safer, I guess. Depends on how you really look at it from your point of view. I would say the running back's a little bit safer to the opportunity touch. So I don't hate that. Raul, I do think Zach Charbonnet has a very good day. Again, today, full workload, easily could be putting top 12 numbers on the board for him again this week. All right, we're going to try to catch up here on Twitter. We're almost an hour behind on some of the questions there. Getting a lot this morning, obviously, with the fantasy playoffs at the front of our worries here. But yes, Raul, good day for Zach Charbonnet is in the cards, I think. Jeremy here on X. Sutton, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Jacoby Myers. Start 3 would be Sutton, Brown, and Evans there for me. Let's see here. Nave, Pacheco, Cook, or Bucky Irving. I'd go James Cook. I know he had a bad week last week, but I like him this week. And then Ladd, DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers. I would actually go Jacoby Myers in that spot. Ladd McConkey injury, a little concern. I guess you could wait it out with Jacoby Myers, but I do like Jacoby there. Joe Papa, need 3, Jalen Warren, Jaleel McLaughlin, Cooper, Jaden Reed, Nick Chubb, maybe Spears if Pollard's out. I don't think Pollard is going to be out. So need 3, Warren, Cooper, and Reed would be my 3 there for you, Joe Papa. Scott White here on YouTube. My PPR league, I'm debating if I should start Jameis or Richardson today. I'd probably go Jameis higher up. I mean, I guess not really. Richardson has some pretty high upside. I know it's going to be kind of a bad weather game, but we saw Jameis put up decent numbers in a snow game, so the rain doesn't concern me a ton. So I'd probably go Jameis there in a game that they should have to throw more than what we're going to get out of Richardson. Richardson's still passing numbers. I mean, he's better than what he was when he was benched, but tough Denver defense going up against like Patrick Surtain and a very good secondary, as well as a run defense that's pretty stout. So I think it could be a long day for Richardson and company. Jimmy Serrano on X, Tua or Kyler would be Tua for me. Not really in on Kyler today against New England. Waddle or Moody. Oh, this is Hunter. Yeah. Sorry, Hunter. Catching up. Heh. Jay Wilkins, start to Jones, Dowdle, or Charbonnet. Dowdle and Charbs for me here, Jay. T-Shawn Cruz, quarterback Murray or Herbert. I would go with Mr. One there, Justin Herbert. Let's see here. JC on X, Hall or Braylon Allen, Njoku or Chargers tight end. So I would go Hall and Njoku if he plays. Magic Mike need 2 here. Najee, Janu, Tyrone Tracy, Devontae Smith, Bucky. So Janu would be 1. And probably Bucky Irving. Matt Morris, Moore Metcalf, or Ramondre Stevenson. I would go DK there. Christian Johnson or Smart, Pollard or Jones. Would be Smart and Pollard for me. Let's see here. Mike Owarkarts. I believe that's how that's pronounced. All right. Definitely need help. Who to start here of these 3, Shakir, Lamb, and London? I would play Lamb there for you, Mike. Danny Musgrove, Connor, or Brian Robinson. I like James Conner. A little bit more likely that game stays closer for longer. Matt Morris, Moore, Metcalf, DK. Oh, just hit this one. Said DK there. Jay Lebo on X, ETN Bigsby, or Gus Edwards. I would go Gus Bus there against Tampa Bay. Chris Bigger, week 15, Brock Bowers or Jonnu Smith here on X. I'm going to go Jonnu. I don't love Bowers with Ritter, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to roll with Jonnu Smith here, maybe in a blow-up spot for that. Although I'd probably still start Brock Bowers, to be honest. But Toby the Legend, flex spot, Hopkins, Tank, or McCormick. I would go with Sincere McCormick, Toby. Shay. Shay. Is it Shrey? Sorry, Shrey. I think that's how it's pronounced. But start 2, Bucky, Ladd, Devontae, Njoku. I would do Devontae and Ladd. Just avoid the injuries. Ladd should be good to go by this point in time. Now you added JMO. Right? Or is this a different league? But either way, Jameson doesn't make his way in there. Well, these are a couple other questions. You definitely opened it up. Still think I go Devontae and Ladd out of this group as well. Shrey. I got it. I like that. It's good when I get some things right. Hopefully the start sit questions are correct as well. That's the important part, right? I mean, like your name to be right, but we want to win our fantasy week here. So James, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is one of those good mornings. Unless the Bills lose today, that'll be a bad day. But either way, James, I'm enjoying bye week. Hey, yeah, I got a couple. Viewing the week as a chance for my bench players to audition for a shot next week. Yeah, it could be. Out of interest, one guy in the playoffs has Chubb and Allen. Who would you start in flex? Probably Braylon Allen would be my option. Yeah, Nick Chubb. I mean, in Kansas City's run defense very good. Likely in game scripts, seems like maybe a little bit more Jerome Ford action. So unless Chubb falls in the end zone, I don't really like it. Also, you're welcome, James. That's good to hear. Good to hear that the information given was helpful, James. Hopefully we crown you a champion in a few weeks. Tyler, with it being Ritter, Myers, or Reed, I'd go with Reed. Definitely go Reed. Although Myers, they might still be able to get him the ball, but I do like Reed. I do answer some kicker questions. Kicker's kind of a crapshoot, but yeah, I'll give it a whirl. I'll do my best. That's all I can say, Tyler. That's all I ever do. You ask me a question, I'll do the best I can. If you want to know whether Cool Ranch Doritos are better than regular Doritos. I'll give you my opinion. Can't guarantee it's right, but Lori, Camara, Rashad White, or Jerry Jeudy. I'll go with Jerry Jeudy in that spot. Tony Christensen need 2 running backs and 1 flex. Gibbs, Montgomery, Connor, McLaurin, Jeudy, or Hopkins. So I'm going to go Gibbs and Connor, and then I'm going to play McLaurin as my flex there for you, Tony. Mario, half PPR, Jameson Williams, or Rashad White. I would go Rashad White with the Bucky injury. We never know. I do not like kickers, Tyler. You just don't get a lot of questions, like you said. Not a lot of people like it. A lot of leagues are going away from kickers. So more so harder to spend a ton of time on kickers when it's not a huge part of the game for majority of the fantasy players out there. But we got Lutz and Reichert. Let's see, where do I have that? Where are we at here? Kickers. Too many windows. Lutz. I'd probably lean towards Reichert by a little small margin. Typically, and Tyler, then I'll give you how I view kickers and how I make my decisions, and then you can maybe roll with it however you'd like to. Typically, what I'm looking for is a team that's good. Obviously, you want them to be moving the football. You don't want them to be too good where they're scoring touchdowns, though, because kickers really have more points typically in scoring formats by kicking field goals. So Chicago's defense has been leaky, but it is still a pretty decent defense divisional matchup. Could see them hankering down there in the red zone and kind of forcing Minnesota kick more field goals, as opposed to where I think Denver probably scores more touchdowns. So you're getting more extra points, which aren't as valuable. So I would go with Reichert there. That's my process, at least when I look at kickers. I'm always looking for teams that are going to get stopped inside the 20. So, yeah, that's where I would be as far as the kickers go there. Pete Maffaro on X, Flex 1, DJ Moore, or JT. It would be JT. Upper hand, personal finance, half PPR, bench 1, DJ Moore, Mooney, D-Hop. Also have half PPR, bench 1 of Thielen or Marvin Harrison Jr. So I'd probably bench Hop and Marvin Harrison Jr. So those will probably be the 2 that go off for him, but you know, life happens. Neighbors, Shakir or Garrett Wilson would be Wilson for me against a weak Jags secondary. Jason Quinn, Bucky, Brees, Dowdle at running back and half PPR have Camara. So I would roll Rico Dowdle there for you. Jason Quinn on X. Robbie B, Steelers, Cowboys, or Texans D. Probably go Texans, I guess. Best chance to have a good day. Vaughn's on X, Jeudy or Shakir. I would go Jerry Jeudy there. Mike Treadway, Rodgers or Stroud. I would go with Rodgers there. Letters. Yeah. Jokic, Terry or Sutton in flex. I'll go with Scary Terry there. Capo on X, pick 3 of each. Whoa, this is a list. Neighbors, Puka Nacua already played. Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Tyrone Tracy. So Wilson, Terry, Nacua already played. And then McLaurin, Nacua, St. Brown, Evans. Okay. Tony Christensen, Nix, or Herbert would be Nix, probably for me. Jaws on X, Bucky or Najee. I would go risk it there with Bucky there, Jaws. All right, Michael Hughes on YouTube starts Sincere over DJ Moore, sure. Mike Evans, no. It's a good spot for DJ Moore, though. So the struggle is that Caleb will be the big factor. Thinking back, though, I think did he have a bad game or was it a good game against the Bears? Which one was it? Let's double check. No, against Minnesota. They had a good game against Minnesota last time. So if you're wanting to, the only one I would consider is Sincere over DJ Moore. But they did have that good game just a few weeks back. So maybe you roll with it and just go DJ Moore and Mike Evans for the upside. Sincere's going to get you, 9-10 points. That's what he's going to get you. If he falls in the end zone, you might get the double digits, but it's not going to be crazy points, I think, from Sincere McCormick. Steady points, good flex if you didn't have other options, but Mike, I'd probably roll with the two receivers. Josh Downs. So Downs is probably a guy that I'm going to move up here in the next few moments. Where do I have Josh Downs ranked? Feel like I passed him. Totally had to have. There's Michael Pittman. What am I doing here? Where is he? Oh, there he is. So I have him at wide receiver 40, roughly. It's probably where I'm going to keep him, somewhere in that territory. Denver's a tough defense. He does play inside, so he likely doesn't see Surtain, so they probably will avoid Surtain. So he will see a little bit more work probably there from Josh Downs than you would Michael Pittman. Startable, depending on who you have, but not a must start for me with Josh Downs. Restaurant Guy DD, happy playoffs. I've gotten 3 of 5 games today. Nice. Like to see it. All PPR. I know it's a lot. Sorry, bench 1. Rashad White, Harris, or Sincere. Probably would bench Sincere there. Bench 1 of Lamb, Terry Higgins, Addison. 1. Ooh, that's a tough one. Probably Addison against my better love there for Addison, but Lamb has got to start. Terry's got to start, and Higgins, I think they try to get him involved against Tennessee. So yeah, unfortunately, Addison's the odd man looking in. And then Darnold, Tyler, or Nix. I would go Darnold there, and then Reed over JMO. And then Commanders over Jets. Restaurant Guy, DD. Bradley Freed, start 2. Myers, DK. Marvin Harrison Jr., JT Pacheco. So I would go Pacheco and JT for you there, Bradley. Anonymous, thoughts on Mooney over Downs. Also Ferguson or Ott. I would go with Ferguson. I'd go Otten over Ferguson. Still seems like they're easing Ferguson in a little bit. And then Mooney over Downs. I would play Darnell Mooney over Josh Downs 100%. Camille Olowski. Pick 3. Jalen Waddle, JMO, Bucky, or Ramondre. So I'd probably sit Bucky Irving in this situation just because of the injury concerns. If you don't care about the injury concern, then it would be Jameson Williams would be my sit there. Justin Johnson, Herbert, or Murray. Also Hopkins or JMO. Herbert and Jameson Williams there, Justin. That's the struggle. Is that Ladd's still questionable, potentially playing, but Thielen goes before Ladd. So Shrey, I'd probably just play Adam Thielen, truthfully, because I don't want to have that potential where Ladd does sit or something out of the blue. And then you got no pivot options there. So I will take the points there for sure in Thielen over Ladd. I think it's close enough to have that as an option. Mateo need a wide receiver and flex. Irving, Quentin Johnson. Mateo, is that Jamison Williams or Javonte Williams? Hit me back with that quick, and then we'll get that question answered. Villain 502 on X, Waddle or McCormick. I would go Jalen Waddle there. DSPN, wait on Swift or Kendre Miller, Chuba, Swift there for me. You're welcome, Justin. Hopefully, we don't get the letdown there from Justin Herbert, and Jameson Williams can have an okay day, but they can't beat the Bills. Let's put it that way. Justin, gotta get the Bills on the winning streak. All right, so it is Jameson. You did come back in on that. So your wide receiver and flex would probably be Jameson again, and I would, depending on risk tolerance, as far as Irving's injury goes, I would probably roll out Bucky Irving, but I get it if you don't want to. So I would probably go Jameson and Irving. If you didn't, I would go Jonnu Smith. All right. Shane Boogie, Kraft or Atkins if Joku is out, Darnold or Love, McCormick or Tracy. I'd probably just go Kraft. I saw some of the love for Jordan Akins. I mean, maybe he has a good day, but he's not just going to get 15 targets. They'll probably spread it around. There's a couple tight ends they've been throwing to outside of Njoku. You'll also probably see an uptick for Elijah Moore and Jerry Jeudy. So I'm not totally in on Adkins. But so I'd probably still roll Tucker Kraft there, Shane. And then Darnold over Love for me, and McCormick over Tyrone Tracy as well. Thank you. Sure, I appreciate that. And you're welcome, Mateo. Anybody loving the show is always good. And as long as it's solid advice and you guys have a good time watching it, that's what we're here for. You know what I mean? Ultimately here for the wins. Jacob on X, running back 2. Who do I start? Looks like he's got McCormick in, Allen, Irving, Tracy, or Walker, who's doubtful. So I would stay put with McCormick there. Oh my gosh, can't even type over here. Miles Brennan, Otten, or Andrews at the tight end position would be Andrews. Let's see here. Eric, pick one wide receiver, 2 flex. Thielen, Garrett Wilson, Higgins, JSN, Waddle, and Charbonnet. Let's see here. So Higgins, Wilson, and Charbonnet. Mike Lowry, Darnold, or Nix would be Darnold there. For me, Mike, Russell Heather, Breece Hall, or James Cook. I would go Cook there, Russell. Villain 502, sit 1, Bijan Gibbs, Chase Brown, Hubbard, or Charbonnet. Well, that's a tough sit. We'll go Hubbard. Don't love it, but I guess it is what it is. TJ Lennon set me down. Do I start Amari or Judy at wide receiver 2? Yeah, you gotta start Jerry Judy there, sir. All right. Cardar football, Kelsey, Neighbors, Jonnu, or Garrett Wilson. Pick 2 would be Wilson and Jonnu there. Dan Braun, half PPR, Waddle, Mooney, or McCormick. I would go Darnell Mooney there. Let's see here. IG with Usan, half PPR, need 1. Breece Hall, Allen, or McCormick would be McCormick. Let's see here. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. Let's see here. Not my burner, Warren or Sincere. I actually like Jalen Warren there. I like the spot against Philly as a pass catching back. Eric Hall, Jamison, or Gino at super flex. I would probably go Gino there. Ground to make up. We'll go Jameis for Eric there. Full PPR start to DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, T. Higgins. Probably Higgins and Wilson for me. 2021 Debo, Bucky, or Zay Flowers. I would probably go Zay there. Tyler Stupin, Gino over Stroud, Andrews over Metcalf. I would go Gino and DK. Tyler. Flowgrow, Bro. Bucky Irving, Josh Downs, or Lad McConkey would be McConkey there. OC sit one between Gibbs, Saquon Brown, or Dowdle. Probably Dowdle would be my sit there. OC. All good starts, but it would probably be Dowdle for me. Mark Mahomes or Tua would be Tua. Durs on X, Higgins, Evans, or JSN in full PPR. Let's see here. Probably Evans there for me. Durs. Troy Williams need to Cook, Hubbard, Rico standard scoring. Would be Hubbard and Rico. Aaron, AJ Brown, or Neighbors would be AJ Brown. Brian Robinson, Pollard, Hall, and Tracy for my two running back spots. Who do you prefer? B-Rob and Pollard for me. Ivan. Dicer on X. I started Cup, Kittle, and Kyron. I need a miracle pick wide receiver and flex between Judy, Amon, Ra, Thielen, and Kamara, please. Let's go Judy and Amon Ra. Let's see here. Trevor DeYoung, full PPR, Pollard, or Aaron Jones would be Pollard for me. Jake on X, Murray or Knicks would be Knicks. Let's see here. Dan Levio, JT or McCormick would be JT for me, Dan. Justin, I had Jennings Thursday night, went against Puka and Isaac. Need two of these three, full PPR, Kamara, Ridley, or Brian Thomas Jr. Be Kamara and Ridley for me. Drew McAllister on X, half PPR, pick 2. Tracy, Metcalf, Irving, or Hall would be DK and Irving. Let's see here. Tanner, choose 2. BTJ, B Rob, Marv, and Hawk. BJ or B T. I mean B Rob. Holy cow, I cannot speak right now. And JT. Just fusing them together, boys and girls. Dan, who do I sit between Flowers, Marv's, and BTJ? Would be Marv for me, Dan. Mackenzie J. Manger on X. If McConkey doesn't play Vele or Palmer, it would be Palmer for me. Jacoby Myers, T. Higgins, and Zay Flowers. I would say Higgins there. Sorry, having a blank out there. Let's see here. Dalton, Clark, start 2, Jones, Thielen, Ridley, Rashad, White would be Jones and Ridley. Let's see here. Big issue starting Connor Dowdle at running back, Nico BTJ at wide receiver, and Myers at flex. Do I dare put Brees or Amari Cooper in anywhere? No. For Joseph on X. Patrick Amiak, Neighbors, Lamb, Dowdle, Brown, 3 spots. Sit. Neighbors. Zachary Riffle on X. Who do I start out of? DK, Judy, Zay, and BTJ can only start 2. DK and Judy. Robert Portnoy, Hall, or McCormick would be McCormick for me. Alex Swift or Jalen Warren would be Swift for myself. Antonio Ianello, who do I start in flex? Ramondre Stevenson. It would be my thing. Kevin V here. Need 3 pick at flex. Addison, Neighbors, Thielen, Metcalf, and Jameson Williams. So Adams, Thielen, and Metcalf would be the 3 for me, Kevin. I like the spot for all of them. Thielen's been hot as of late. Gets a good defense against Dallas. Neighbors, I'm worried against Baltimore. Like, yeah, it's a bad secondary, but like, can they get the ball to him? That's going to be the biggest question. So, yeah, I'm rolling Addison, Thielen, and DK there for you, Kevin. JT on X, Ladd or Pacheco. I would roll with Mr. Ladd McConkey. Brian, Kazakhstan, Cooper, Waddle, or Bucky at flex would be Bucky Irving. Kevin, you are very, very much solely welcome. Cool guy on X, Caleb or Winston, Reed or McCormick. I will go Caleb, and I would go Reed over McCormick there. Winnie Blue, Higgins or Keenan Allen would be Higgins there. Jake, I think I got you on that one. Mike Glynn, Drake, London, or DK would be DK for me. Classic Mike, GRFN, James Cook or Adam Thielen, full PPR. I'm going to go Cook. And Goff or Cousins would be Jared Goff. Bleeding Burgundy and Gold on X. Start 2, Neighbors, BTJ or Waddle. BTJ and Neighbors there. Ben Cleveland, Keon Coleman, Etienne, or wait for the status of Swift tomorrow night. Ben, if you don't have a pivot off of Swift, I think Swift will play. But if you don't have a pivot from DeAndre Swift, I would roll out Keon Coleman. But I would try to wait for DeAndre Swift personally, Ben. Jerry, Shakir, or White, I would go Shakir there for you, Jerry. Zayn Ahmed, JT, or Shakir, a little bit closer. I also can't believe that it's a real question as well. I was really hoping for more from JT. I did expect a lot from Shakir, so I do understand why the gap is closed, but it's much closer than it should be here, Zane. But I am going to go with JT still. I like the spot for him against Denver. I know it's a little bit tougher matchup, but they are weak against the passing game, so maybe they can get him involved a little bit there, get some screen touches or something to that extent, getting him on the edge there against Denver. Hayden on X, Ridley, DJ Moore, Shakir, pick 2 would be Ridley and Shakir for me. Tom Mason doesn't exist anymore. I must have deleted it. Leo Schaefer, Tracy, or Brees Hall. I would go Tracy there. Pretty close, but I would go with Tracy still there. Ohio's own on X, start two, A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Drake London, or Ladd McConkey. So I'm taking the squeaky wheel in A.J. Brown, and then I'm going with T. Higgins against a weakish type secondary in Tennessee. DGV on X, A-Rod or Herbert. I will go Justin Herbert there for me. Jonathan Flores, Murray, or Daniels would be Jaden Daniels. Don't overthink the Jaden Daniels start. Still a good spot. Will Turner on X. Good morning. Do I start DJ Moore or Calvin Ridley? And for tight end, go Zach Ertz or Dalton Kincaid. So I would go probably Ridley and Ertz there for you, Will Turner. Felix, full PPR, running back 2, Irving or Tracy. I would go Irving there. And a Njoku or Andrews would be David Njoku. Half PPR, JT or McCormick would be JT. Also, if Vlad doesn't play Keenan or MVS, it would be Keenan Allen over MVS. David, how's it going, David? 2 flexes, DJ Moore, Cook, Hall, or Irving. I'd probably go DJ Moore and Cook. Just avoid the injuries of Hall and Irving there, David. Try to eliminate some variance in there. Ben Cleveland, I pick up Mayer and just in case Swift doesn't play. Yeah, I'd rate it out. I mean, the Mayer's not great, but at least someone who could get you points. So I'd wait it out for Swift because I think Swift is a good spot tomorrow night. Romeo, what's up, sir? James Cook, Marvin Harrison, DJ Moore, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson. Don't do me like you did with Debo. The ones could only hope that squeaky wheel didn't work out. Don't know. David Njoku's out. Romeo, don't play me like that. Gosh, dang it. That hurts my feelings, Romeo. Despite whether it was true or not, it does hurt. But I would go with T. Higgins for you here. And Garrett, or is it one? Is it one? Be between T. Higgins and Garrett Wilson for me. Romeo, I lean slightly to Higgins just because I think I trust Joe Burrow a little more than Aaron Rodgers. Also, I think they get him involved a little bit after having a little down week, as opposed to Garrett Wilson, who I think Rodgers just doesn't care. He's going to feed Devontae Adams. So I lean to T. Higgins slightly by a small margin over Garrett Wilson there. Zane, Herbert versus Love versus Stroud. It would be Justin Herbert for me, Zane. Also Nico Collins. Yeah, it doesn't really. I don't worry about stacking too much as far as seasonal goes. So go with Justin Herbert. Alex, Njoku out, which means I got to change a lot of lineups. I would roll with Smart there, Alex. I like the spot against Tampa Bay. Now, Ladd McConkey could take a lot of it, but it is interesting if you want to go with the tried and true, maybe Dalton Schultz. He's in a decent spot as well. I believe it, Ben. I believe it. Todd Sherrard, London, or Rashad White. I would go Drake London there as well. Appreciate you too, Romeo. Hopefully it's right. Let's put it that way. David Evans, Myers, DJ Moore, Cooper, bench 2. Probably Cooper and Myers, David, for me. Herbert or Kyler would be Herbert, David. And you're welcome, Zane. Good luck to you as well. Migo, Jose on X. Which 2 would you start? Allen, BTJ, Calvin Ridley, or Dell? So I would go Ridley and Brian Thomas Jr., and then it's going to be Pollard at running back for me. Let's see here. Cook or Addison would be Addison. Or for Gabe would be James Cook. Kyler Tua for Phillies believer would be Tua. Chase Ensley, Otten Kincaid, or Henry would be Henry there. Will Turner is DJ Moore or Kelvin Ridley would be Ridley for me. Zach Ertz, Dalton Kincaid, I would go Ertz. For you, Will, next. Let's see here. Colton Williams, need help. Higgins, Shakir, or Myers, need two. Would be Higgins and Shakir. Charbonnet, Brian Robinson, and Dowdle need two. Sharbs and Dowdle. Bear Model Mog on X, Brian Thomas, or Zay Flower, or Tracy. I'll go Brian Thomas Jr. there. Andre, Flex, Neighbors, Lad, Bucky, or Pacheco. I would go with Pacheco there. Mosby, start one. Cook, McCormick, or Tracy, start one. DJ, or Brian Thomas Jr. I would go Cook and Brian Thomas Jr. Scott, I would say it's going to be Diami Brown, if anybody. But it also might just be more now, just Terry McLaurin and Zach Ertz, truthfully. Luke McCaffrey, maybe see some more touches. So, but if I had to guess, I think Diami Brown's probably the next guy up there, Scott, as opposed to Noah Brown. But it seems like probably just some more Ertz, more McLaurin, Eckler when he's back, kind of that route. More Jane Daniels on the ground type of stuff. Mitch, who to start? McConkey, Shakir, or Downs would be McConkey. Mike Usher, Jonnu Smith, Sincere, or Jaden Reed. I would go Jonnu there. CC, Flex, Downs, McCormick, Sutton, Swift, or Tracy would be Sutton for me. AJ Brown or JSN for Anthony would be AJ Brown. Full PPR need two: Stevenson, Mooney, Thielen, Dowdle, Moore, Irving. So Mondre and Dowdell. For Tim, Andre on X, bench one, AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, or Judy. Would probably be Judy there. Dilly Bubbles, pick one to bench. Tracy, Devontae Smith, or Hall. Would probably be Tracy, Dilly Bubbles. Ethan Mathis, Kraft, or Hunter Henry would be Hunter Henry. Chad, aka Stewie, PPR need one. Thielen, Odunze, Hopkins, Nick Westbrook, Akine. That would be Adam Thielen for me, Chad. El Vendito, Blanco, Pollard, or Bucky would be Pollard for me. Start two: Evans, Sutton, or Dowdle. Evans and Sutton for me there. Mysterious CD. Cool your Jets, Addison, or Devontae Adams would be Devontae Adams. Richie Applegate on X, Charbonnet, or Chase Brown would be Chase Brown. Jeffrey, Pollard, Bucky, or Thielen. No PPR. Running back injuries are scary. I would go Pollard. Which one? Running back, Brees, Braylon, Isaiah Pacheco, or Sincere? I would roll with Pacheco there. Big Papa Berdino playing in a PPR league with Daniels at quarterback. Who should I start in flex today? B-Rob, McLaurin, or Evans? I would go with Evans. Quentin Johnston, Elijah Moore, or Josh Downs. I would actually go to Elijah Moore. Now with no David Njoku. Lineup for today, PPR. Any suggestions? We got Pacheco or Tracy. Would be Pacheco for that dog on X, or Oat Dog on X. Sorry. Daniel A. Start 2, half PPR. AJ Brown, Higgins, Charbonnet, Cook. AJ Brown and Charbs. Edgar for the wait here. Good morning. Who would you start in flex out of Irving, White, or Reed? I would go with Rashad White. Just avoid the injuries. I think White and Irving could have a decent day together. Matthew J. Quinn, need one wide receiver to flex full PPR. Kamara, B-Rob, Tyreek, AJ Brown, London Higgins, or JSN. So AJ Brown would be my receiver. My flex spots would be B-Rob and Kamara, I think. Do B-Rob and Tyreek Hill. Yeah, that's where I would go. AJ Brown, Tyreek, and B-Rob. Aaron, I would go with Darnold for that. And I would go Charbonnet over Brian Robinson, personally. And you're welcome, Edgar. Let's see here. GR, Bucky, Brees, Ramondre, Jameson need to start 2. Bucky and Brees give me hesitations. I would go Mondre and Bucky. Kelsey or Freiermuth for Sean. I would go Kelsey. B, Pollard, Charbs, or Higgins. Pick 2 would be Pollard and Charbonnet. Already behind, having bad games from Jennings and Kittle. I have Metcalf, McLaurin, Adams, Thielen, Jonnu Smith for 4 spots. You roll with Jonnu over the wide receivers. No, play the wide receivers. Hopkins or Thielen for Max would be Thielen. Kyson need 2. Cooks, JSN, Calvin Ridley, Tyrone Tracy, Quentin Johnston would be Cook and Ridley. Or Cook and JSN, actually, for me. Brett on YouTube, Bo Nix or Goff would be Bo Nix for me. Let me know, too. Morning Cooks versus Green Bay or Brian Thomas Jr. or Green Bay Giants. Why am I so confused at who Jen is? I don't know who Jen is. But either way, it would be Brian Thomas Jr. for me. Let me know, too. Alex, Dubes, or Vele would be Vele for me, Alex. That would be who would be Vele. So I thought it was Green Bay, but I was a little confused there. But either way, it's Brian Thomas Jr. for me. Let me know, too. Let's see, where are we here? Have we caught up yet? Jam on X, Cooks or Shakir. I would actually go Shakir there for Cook. Celtics fan Tyrone Tracy or Cortland Sutton would be Cortland Sutton. Let's see here. Bucky Irving or Jerry Jeudy for my flex would be Jerry Jeudy. Let's see here. Fantasy Phoenix. Lots of options here. Half PPR, 10 team, start 10. AJ Brown, DJ Moore, JT Kraft. I don't know how many we're actually starting here. I'm guessing it's 1, but it's AJ Brown. Jack, Jaden Daniels, or Herbert would be Jaden Daniels there for you, Jack. Jonathan Paget on X, Freiermuth in flex, or put McCormick, Bigsby, McLeod, QJ in. I would go with McCormick there. Randy Casaneve, pick 2. Tyreek Hill, Nico, or Evans would be Nico and Evans for me. Dave Hartman need 2 half PPR. Worthy, Watson, QJ, Coleman. I would go QJ and Watson. Daniel A, sit one, AJ Brown, Higgins, Charbonnet, or Cook. I would probably be Cook, I guess, out of that group. Joe Ho, half PPR, Neil Allen, going to make up. I'm taking AJ Brown or Neighbors at wide receiver. AJ Brown. Jack DJK Metcalf or Ryan Thomas Jr. would be DK. Matthew Perry on X. Cardinals or Packers defense. I will go Pack. Adam Thielen or Mike Evans. Somehow I have to start AJ Brown over Jefferson. Evans and play AJ Brown over Shakir. Broncos or Ravens D. I'll go Ravens there for Brandon on X. Oh, Matt, what's going on? Living the dream over here. Just answer questions, Matt. That's what I'm doing. Winston or Richardson? I'm predicted to win, so it's safer pick. Safer pick is probably Richardson, truthfully. Both have seriously low floors. Both have seriously high ceilings. Richardson gives you a little bit more in the run game, so I'd probably go Richardson there. Alex, Aaron Jones, or JSN? I'd go JSN there, Alec. Logan Gallant on X, JT or Pacheco? I would go JT. Rob Bryan, D-Hop or Edwards? I would go Gus Edwards there, Robert. Rhett, Butler, Harris, or Bucky? I would go Bucky. There. Sitting Evans for DJ Moore, Charger secondary way better than Vikings. Disagree. AT smart picks, but you do you. Gill standard scoring outside of Mixon, Jeff, and need to pick one. Mondre, Tyreek, or Swift. I would go Tyreek there. SI Devontae Smith or Downs. I'll go Josh Downs there. Allgrit, Jameson, or D-Hop would be JMO. Steve Holt, Smart, or Henry would be Henry. Baker or Herbert. I'll go Herbert there. Jerry Jeudy or Jacoby Myers for Daniel is Jeudy. B-Rob or Tracy would be B-Rob for James G. Khalil Shakir or Marvin Harrison Jr. for John is Shakir. Jesus Jimenez, Thielen over BTJ and Marvin Harrison. Yeah, I'd do that. Let's see here. PPR, Garrett Wilson, Bucky, D-Hop, Wilson, and Downs. Mike, Hall or McCormick also need 2 PPR, Judy, Wilson, or Higgins. I would go McCormick there just for the safety. And then need 2 for PPR would be Judy and Higgins for me. Phillip, Waddle, Cooper, or Sincere? I would go Waddle. Shiz Neighbors or Marvin Harrison Jr. I would go Marvin Harrison Jr. Brian Bourne, need to sit one. 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 2 flex. Herbert or Stroud would be Herbert. For me, Gaffney. JQ, please help. Guillotine. Start 2 of Shakir, DK, Garrett Wilson, JT Cook, and Sutton. So Sutton and Wilson. Devin Evans or Ladd would be Evans. Joseph Lingard, Nix or Tua would be Bo Nix. J Hall, start 2, no PPR. M Hill, JT Worthy, JT. McCormick, Swift, or Bucky, pick 2. Sit Bucky there, Jonathan. Need 2. Bucky banged up. Laporta, Addison. Addison and Laporta. Bucky or Brees Hall. I would go Bucky there. Sit 1 of Pollard, B-Rob, or Dowdle. I guess it would be Pollard there. Restaurant guy, I would go Bo Nix over Justin Herbert there for your restaurant. DD. Sit 1, Sutton, AJ Brown, McLaurin, B-Rob, or Dowdle. Ooh, that's a tough one. I guess McLaurin. Don't love it, but I guess. Mike, I need 3 wide receivers this week. Full PPR. Adams, Evans, Ridley, and Myers. Would be Adams, Evans, and Ridley. Let's see here. A few different leagues for Evan. Cook or Irving. Cook. Jonnu Smith over Laporta. And DK. And Henry. Jerry CZ. Wide receiver McLaurin, Addison, or Devontae Adams. I would go Adams there. Nix or Goff would be Nix, and then Najee or Tracy would be Najee. MC Kevin Samanda, start 2, Charbs, Carbonate, or Jacobs would be Charbs and Jacobs. Pitts or Jets D would be Jets. McCormick or Mooney for Wilkes. On X would be Mooney. Bo Nix or Kyler Murray for Dan Kadlick. On X would be Bo Nix. Jalen Hurts or Sam Darnold would be Hurts for me. Swift or Thielen would be Thielen for Riley Soanes. IT Danny, Caleb, or AR would be Caleb Williams. Dolly on X, Jaden Reed, Marvin Harrison Jr., or Ridley can only play 2 would be Reed and Ridley. Herbert, Winston, or Goff would be Herbert for Nunya. Metcalf, Brees, or Najee would also be DK. Jonathan Shipley, DJ Moore, or Neighbors be DJ Moore. Caleb Swanda, Pollard if he's active. Do I go Pollard or JSN would be Pollard. Ladd or Devontae Adams would be Devontae Adams. Goff or Tua for Jared. On X would be Tua. Standard scoring. Bucky or Tracy. Bucky. And BTJ or Myers. Matt would be Darnold or Bo Nix. That one I would go Darnold. Johnny O, Pacheco, or D-Hop would be Pacheco. Adam is Stroud or Mayfield. I would do Adam, Poet, Anderson, Brees over either Aaron Jones or James Cook would be no for Poet on X. Dr. Whittaker on X, Garrett Wilson or Sutton would be Sutton. Bloodbath, what's up, brother? DJ Moore, Rashad White, James Cook, and Justin Jefferson. Need your top two, please. Would be Cook and JJ. CM, start Marvin Harrison, Bucky, or Sincere. I would go Sincere. Garrett Hammond, Cooper, Ertz, or Travis Etienne would be Cooper. BTJ or Jamison Williams. I would go BTJ. Start Love or May at quarterback would be Love for CM. Enrico Alanalo, pick 2 BTJ or Jamison Williams or Sincere McCormick. Sam Lippitz, choose 2 JSN, Mike Evans, T. Higgins. Evans and Higgins. The Franks, how's it going? Need to start a flex. Drake London, T. Higgins, Lamb, Sutton, bonus Tracy over Aaron Jones. No, I'd play Aaron Jones over Tracy, and then your flex, I would go with Cortland Sutton for me, Franks. Orlando Mendoza, Brees, Neighbors, DK, Reed, Marvin Harrison Jr. Pick 2, DK and Marvin Harrison Jr., I guess. Tweet is deleted. Doesn't care. Kadokin, BTJ, or Bucky Irving would be BTJ. Nolan, Mahomes, Tua, or Baker this week. I would go with Tua. Matthew Trokit on X. Need 1 running back, 1 flex between JT, Rico, Dowdle, David Montgomery, and Drake London. Dowdle and Monty. Addison. Cooper over Addison. No, I would play Addison. Let's see here. Chad McGuffey, Joe Burrow, or Jaden Daniels would be Daniels. I need 2 Waddle, Brian Thomas Jr., Pacheco, Tracy, Bucky Irving, Pacheco, and Brian Thomas Jr. For my flex, Brees Hall, Devontae Smith, or Ridley. I would go Ridley for Go Avs Go. Brees or Rashad White. I would go Rashad White there. Clifford, McCormick, or Irving would be McCormick. Justin Krause, Kyler Murray, Jameis Winston would be Murray. Ryub, JT, Rico, CD, Sutton, half PPR, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, Sutton and Rico. Jeremy Butcher, Chuba, or Connor would be Chuba. Bigsby or McLeod for John would be Bigsby. There. Pollard or Neighbors for Troy would be Pollard. Tyrone Tracy or Javonte Williams would be Williams for me. Tank Bigsby or Tyrone Tracy would be Bigsby. Kevin Flores, Ravens or Commanders would be Ravens, and then Evans and Hill over DJ Moore. Ben Cleveland here on X, Ferguson, Henry, Schultz, or Freiermuth. Hunter Henry for me, Ben. Okay, so you need two more from that. So you got Sutton in. So if you need two more, would be Lamb and T. Higgins for me, Franks. Yeah, I don't know, Franks. We're having some problems. I had to do a mid-stream swap to my docking station, so because it was breaking up. So good old technology. QB, BT, J, Brees, or Jacoby in flex would be Brian Thomas Jr. Chad Kundra, Pacheco, or James Cook. I'll go Pacheco. Bartikosi, Flowers, or Coleman. I would go say Flowers. Fat Dog, Kamara, or Connor. I would go Connor. DRG, Pacheco, or Brees Hall would be Pacheco. Sabretooth, Trash Panda, McConkey, Reed, or Thielen. I need to also decide between Herbert and Baker. So I would go Thielen and Lad and Herbert over Baker. Sam Thomas, DJ Moore, or Pacheco. I would go Pacheco. Kevin Martin, Kamara, or Judy. I would go Kamara. There. James G. Bryant Robinson Jr., Tracy, or Addison would be B-Rob there. Ben Cleveland, it would be Jerry Judy over Brian Thomas Jr. Elvin Lee, Cook, or JT. I would go JT. Also, to say to start Jacoby, or should I play Amari? Jacoby. Grundog, Kincaid, or Otten would be Kincaid, and then Wilson over Addison for me. Philip Grumpy, Njoku, or Kraft. That one seems to have probably taken care of itself. Bucky Irving, Tracy, or Thieland would be Thieland. Alan Howell, Ladd, McLaurin, or Evans would be McLaurin. Sincere. B-Rob, Tracy, or Addison would be B-Rob. Love to see it, KL. Cheers. Enjoy the bye week. Michael King, Dubes, McLaughlin, or Homer would be Dubes. And Darnold or Nix would be Darnold. Henry start to Kamara, AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, Kamara, and AJ Brown. Neighbors or Charbonnet would be Charbonnet. Let's see here. One second here. Alrighty. Jacob Bell, Gus or Chubb would be Gus, and Janu over Amari. There. Jose Ruiz, Otten or Smart would be Otten for me. Jose Ruiz again, Mooney or Moore would be Mooney. Pitts or Smart, I would go Smart there. Rafael Cantu, Bucky or Elijah Moore would be Bucky for me there. Rafael Kong Yeager on X. Need two Neighbors, McLaurin or Hall. I would go McLaurin and Neighbors. Classic. Deleted. Justin Krause, need two running backs, one flex. James Cook, Bucky Irving, Jonathan Taylor, Shakir. So I would go Cook and JT, and then I would flex Shakir there, Justin. Nikki, I would go QJ over Xavier Worthy for you. Cy Thor, Shakir or Judy, I would go Jerry Judy. W10, Marvin Harrison Jr. or Tyrone Tracy would be Marvin Harrison Jr. Jason Lucky, Laporta or Devontae Smith would be Laporta. Jose Ruiz, Allen or Hall would be Allen. Bill, Keenan Allen, Rashad Bateman, Keon Coleman. I would go Keenan Allen. Jonathan Lawtrack, Daniels or Tua would be Daniels for me. Tank Dell, Devontae Smith for Zach here. I'll go Tank Dell. Jerry Fern, Baker or Drake May. I would go Baker. Alex, I may have. I may not have. It's chaos over here right now, Alex. Full PPR, Aaron Jones, JSN, or Bucky Irving. I would probably go JSN there for you, Alex. Matthew McBriar, DJ Moore, or Shakir. Also, do I risk Breeze or go Sincere? I would go Shakir and go Sincere, Matthew. Nunya, I think I got that one. Lenny, Green Bay or Houston, Burrow or Daniels. I'll go Houston and Daniels there for you, Lenny. BJ, should I start Kelsey or put in Henry or Kraft? Kelsey, McMillan, White for you, BJ. Let's see. H, your mom. Start two, Pacheco, Sincere, Brees. Pacheco and Sincere. Ryan Podol, Pacheco, or Harris would be Pacheco. Cook or Pacheco would be Pacheco. Should I start Cardinals defense or the Broncos defense? Denver. I would go Bucky Irving there. Phil, Noah Fant are likely trying to pull off a big upset. I'd probably go Noah Fant, Phil. Probably more likely to see more touches, honestly. Matthew, need a full flex or flex full PPR. I would go B Rob there, Matthew. Scott Jernot, Charbonnet, Tracy, Dowdle, pick 2 would be Charbs and Dowdell. Bert, Hall, Bucky, Ladd, Mooney would be Ladd. Let's see here. Pick 1 running back, 1 flex, 1 tight end. So B Rob, Stevenson, Hopkins, Dell, Marvin Harrison Jr., Mondre, Ertz. Nothing Burger, Tracy or Hall. I'd probably go Tracy there. KSG. Brees Hall or JT would be JT. Joey, Judy, DK, or Bucky would be Judy. And 2 of 3 would be Connor and Pacheco over Bucky Irving. Coleman, Dubes, or Watson, full PPR would be Dubes for me. David Template, Pacheco, or Irving would be Pacheco. Oh my God, these people with these deleted tweets. Pat, Sharps, or Connor would be Connor, and AJ Brown over BTJ. Cornelius on X. I don't know what's going on here. Ladd, Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas, or Malik Neighbors would be Ladd. Patrick Dangler, start to Evans, DJ Moore, Waddle, or Shakir would be Evans and Shakir. Baker, Love, or Rogers would be Baker. Dean got a couple, need 1, JSN, BTJ, or Flowers would be JSN. Need 1, Najee, Sincere, Bucky, or Gus. I'll go Sincere. Let's see here. Andrew Mackey, Jaden Reed, or NWI. I would go Reed, and Kraft or Pitts would be Kraft as well. Kyle, do I flex Tank Dell, Devontae Smith, Elijah Moore, or Odunze? I would go Elijah Moore. Odunze or Devontae Smith. I'll go Odunze. Keenan Allen or Jamison Williams for Danny Mack. I would go Jamison Williams. Thielen or Aaron Jones. I would go Jones for Matt Olson. Zane Azif, Thielen, Keenan Allen, Jaden Reed would be Thielen. Victor, here is Thielen, McConkey, Aaron Jones. I would go Lad. There. Sincere or Bigsby for Z would be Sincere. Brian Uta, Swift or Bucky would be Swift. Need for fantasy football: Evans, Jefferson, Judy, London, Thielen, Ladd, Calvin, or Judy. So Evans, JJ, Judy, Ladd. Jerry, Smart or Ferguson? I would go Smart there for you, Jerry. Must-win scenario: started Cup and Grundo on Thursday Night Football. Which lineup format gives me more upside to win my matchup? Starting one running back. Matt, depends on who they are. I would go for the highest swinging players. I would guess that also look at your league scorings. Do running backs tend to score higher than wide receivers? If so, play more running backs. Yeah, would be my guess. Probably, though, the 3 wide receivers, if I had to guess in a vacuum. Chance, Hurts, or Daniels would be Hurts. Let's see here. Bench 2, Brees, Sincere, D-Hop, Evans, Tank. So Tank and D-Hop. Chiefs or Cards would be Cards. Bench 1, a Kamara, Jacoby, or DK would be Jacoby. Pittman or McCormick for Xander would be McCormick. El Prodigy, Cook, Hall, Pacheco, or Chase Brown would be Brown. Dowdle over Connor or Hubbard would be no. CMB, Evans or T. Higgins would be Evans. And Higgins over Garrett Wilson would be Higgins. Ben Hume, start 2, Josh Downs, Hall, Cook, or McMillan would be Cook and McMillan. And then start 1, Kincaid or Smart would be Kincaid. Zaps, Hall, or Charbonnet would be Sharbs. For me, Jeremy Watson. Flex spot today, Tracy, Mooney, or Downs. I'll go Mooney. Matthew, complete list of running backs: Chase Brown, Kamara, B-Rob, wide receivers: Hill, AJ, Higgins, London, JSN. Yeah, I would go Chase Brown and B-Rob. So 2 running backs. AJ Brown. Tyreek Hill's probably your upside swing, or T. Higgins. There for you, Matt. Joe, London, BTJ, JSN, Thielen So I like Thielen or actually I lied. JSN and BTJ for those two there. Brad Shampoo, Tua, Murray, or Darnold would be Darnold. Cody here on YouTube would be Pacheco over Hall. Ricky R, Brees Hall, Rico Dowdle, Devontae Adams, T. Higgins, JSN. Pick 3 would be Dowdell, Adams, Higgins. Andrew Giffiths need 2. Sutton, DJ Moore. Neighbors would be Sutton and DJ Moore. Kentucky Athletics, B. Rob or Charbonnet. I would go Charbonnet there. Bella Lombardo, Knicks or Mayfield. I would go Knicks. Jay Hall. Dude who speaks on X would be Mondre Ferguson, Quentin Johnston, full PPR. Cody. Yeah, I'm just worried about Hall's health. That's all. I think Pacheco's supposed to get a bigger workload, so I'm avoiding that injury in Brees Hall. William, Montre, or Sincere, I would go Ramondre there for you, William. You're welcome, William. Tom Alisi, Brees Hall, Bucky, Marvin Harrison Jr. I'd probably go Bucky there for you, Tom. Would I start half PPR Andrews or Tucker Kraft? I would go Andrews and Stevenson over Marvin Harrison Jr. for you, Michael. Adam W, Bucky Irving, Justice Hill. There, I would go Bucky Irving. JR, bench 1, McConkey, Shakir, BTJ. I would bench BTJ. Doc, Rico, Dowdle, Jacoby Myers would be Dowdle. Thielen or BTJ would be Thielen. TJ, Kamara, Thielen, or Drake London would be Kamara. Mike Holly, DJ Moore, or Higgins. I would go Higgins. Manuel, full PPR. Kraft, McMillan, or McLaughlin would be Jalen McMillan. Mahomes or Richardson would be Mahomes. Addison or D-Hop for Nick would be Addison. Alrighty. Oh, we went a little longer, extra 15 minutes or so here. It's rolling in on 12:45. So I am going to get out of here, get a couple housekeeping things taken care of. If you have questions that I didn't get to, trying to get to them here on X, and hopefully I do before the 1 o'clock window. If I do not, I apologize. But I will try my best. And until next week, thank you as always. And make sure in between these weeks you check out at ftnfantasy.com. Check out all the great stuff, the rankings, the data, the Discord, the articles, etc. We have everything and anything, and not just for football. We have a big baseball special going on right now. Vlad Sedler is one of the best, if not the best, in my opinion, as far as fantasy baseball goes. So check on over there. We got a really good early bird special, I believe, still running. So check that out. It is going to end soon, though. So make sure you get over there as soon as possible if you are a fantasy baseball player as well. All right. And until next week, good luck. Hopefully we get those week 15 playoff matchup wins, and you'll be all back here tomorrow. Or, well, not tomorrow. Well, you could go back tomorrow. I might not be here, but check us out next week as well once we get those week 15 first round playoff wins. All right. Take care, boys and girls. We'll see you next week.